What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love power, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today, we're going to be talking about Power Book 4 Force, Season 2, Episode 3. This is the recap. Now I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. Y'all let me know, how did y'all feel about your boy Jenard in this episode? I mean, this dude is turning up. On top of that, when you're on drugs, what you think Jenard gonna be on? I mean, y'all saw what he was on in this episode, and I got a feeling things will get worse for his character. I mean, I'm hoping that he can pull through, but it ain't looking too good for him. On top of that, he got issues with his own crew, and they gonna basically be more upset with him in the next episode when they find out what happened to Little K. And we know Shanti, she told him don't do anything to Little K because it's gonna mess things up. Well, it seems like it's a little bit too late for that. And what y'all think about your boy Tommy and this whole Miguel Garcia thing? Seems like Miguel is starting to realize that, hey, maybe Tommy was the one that made a move on him and not somebody from the inside. Well, we know eventually it will be issues, and we're talking about major issues between Tommy and Miguel as the season continues to air out. I can't wait to see it, and I also can't wait to see, how Tommy is going to deal with Claudia the next time he has a conversation with her about Liliana. But let's hop right into this recap. What did we see in episode 3 titled War in the Ice Cream? Now, the episode starts out with Tommy going to Diamond, telling him about what happened. His car got shot up. Of course, the little girl ended up getting hit. She ain't here no more, and he wants to know who did it. He is believing that it is Jenard's crew, and he wants to get at him. He is telling Diamond that he wants to have a conversation with Jenard, and Diamond is telling Tommy, like, look, I told you not to go at Chewie because it was going to cause an all-out war. And he's not lying, and I got a feeling things will get even worse. Now, Tommy does go to Jenard to ask him some questions about what happened and the little girl being hit. He wants to know who did this because he wants payback. He is telling Jenard, you better find out who did this and handle it, because if you don't, you gonna be next. I'm gonna take you out. So deep down inside, no matter how much big game Jenard is talking, he knows he needs to handle this, and he needs to go ahead and check Little K and get him up out of here, because if not, Tommy's going to make it even worse for him. And the sad thing is, Jenard told Little K not to go do anything, and he did not listen. So now it's time to suffer those consequences. Now, Diamond is having a conversation with Kendra, and he's talking about moving drugs in the prison. And of course, at first she was kind of like, nah, like you're using me, but she was just joking around, and she does agree to work with Diamond as far as, executing this game plan. And we know this is going to be, a new untapped market, but it's going to cause some issues with Rojas. Now, we get to Leon. He's out there giving a speech about what happened to the little girl that got taken out. And we hear about the new task force that's about to be in play. And we also see Big Smurf. We see your boy Marshall, played by Amar Ferguson, who plays Bakari in The Shy. And then we see Jenard. He's pissed off. He has to check some of his crew members because he wants to know where Little K is at. The one guy was talking about Little K did the right thing or whatever. And I'm like, really? Taking out a little girl was not the right thing to do. It was messed up, and somebody has to pay. Little K, you gotta pay. Now, I hope we get to see more of Marshall's character this season, and hopefully we get to see more interactions between him, Tommy, and of course D-Mac. Now, Tommy goes to JP, lets him know that he got shot at, and he's trying to make sure that he's good. He gives him a strap for protection. Of course, D-Mac is pissed off because he's like, look, where is my strap? That's messed up. I'm walking around here with no protection at all. And y'all know he's going to be on one, especially after what happened to him in season 1 when he was shot. Now, Bobby is upset with Stacy Marks because she got involved with the commander as far as getting him involved with this whole task force. And apparently she wanted him to be a part of it because she feels like he is the best person for the job. So now he is detailed for it, and he's not liking that. We already seen some issues between the two a few episodes ago when it came to, doing something like this. But now it seems like things are getting worse. And I got a feeling this couple may not end well by the end of the season. Now we get to Marshall and Big Smurf. They're preparing the shipment to go into the prisons with, Kendra, the CO that Diamond is messing around with. Big Smurf gets a call from Tommy telling him like, look, I need you to keep eyes on Jenard because he's supposed to be taking out a crew member. And Tommy wants to make sure that Jenard does this because if he doesn't, you already know Tommy's going to do it himself. Now, Kate, she is trying to change her ways this season. She's not on drugs. She's been going to these AA meetings. She tells Tommy that she's sorry for what she's done, but she doesn't really go into a whole lot of detail. Tommy has to bring things up, and the two didn't really end on the best note, at least in this particular scene. Now we get to Diamond, we get to his PO, and this PO, man, this dude, he is just lurking. He is ready for somebody to slip up, and Diamond can tell. Now Big Smurf comes upstairs, and he has that bag y'all already know is full of drugs, but luckily he was able to get out of this with no issues. But Diamond's PO was talking about maybe you should offer like free haircuts or whatever. I mean, he is just trying to control what Diamond does, and he's trying to see if Diamond's going to slip up. Now we get to Jenard and Shanti Showstopper Paige. She's telling him you cannot take out little K. It will mess things up. I mean, the crew, they're already not trusting some of the things that you're doing, so it makes no sense for you to do this. And he's like, look, whose side are you on? I need you to give me the intel on where little K is at. And she tells him it's a chance that he may be at his grandmother's house. Now, we get to Michael, we get to Walter Flynn and Vic, and apparently Walter did not tell, Vic the truth about what's going on, talking about he handled all his issues with Dublin at first, but we know that's not the case. Now, they want to continue to push these bad batch of pills on the south side. This man Michael was talking about no one cares if these monkeys die or whatever, and Vic was like, really? Like, what the hell you talking about? So Vic kind of had to play it off like he's, down for the cause, but deep down inside, he's going to plot and plan to take this guy out and to mess up Walter Flynn's game plan. Now we get to Tommy, Diamond, and Miguel Garcia, and he has invited Tommy to come there to see him torture this guy who he believes backstabbed him. But we know that's not the case. This is a mistake, and Tommy knows this. Now Miguel was talking about that he found the person that betrayed him, and when he said that, Tommy was looking like, man, so he done found out that we screwed him over. He got Tommy in there helping him out. He got these guys' hands in some dry ice, breaking them with hammers. I'm looking like, man, this dude going crazy. And Tommy's like, man, why did you even get us here in the first place? Like, what this got to do with us? Miguel's talking about, I just want to, basically show you what will happen to people that try to screw me. And he wants Tommy to see it. Now, Diamond, he's like, man, this dude must know what happened. He must know the truth. And Tommy is like, nah, he don't know the truth, because if he did, we will be in some trouble. Now, Diamond does tell Tommy about the task force. Tommy's not really that worried about it. His whole thing is taking out the guy that shot at him. And he tells him that he's supposed to be meeting up with Walter Flynn to find out who took out Liliana. Now, Tommy meets up with Walter, and he's trying to figure out who did this. And Walter ain't giving Tommy nothing, right? And then, Walter pretty much is like, look, I'm not going to backstab my own people. It's not going to happen. I don't know about you, but we don't do that over here. And Tommy's like, okay, you said your own people. So is it, one of your kids? And basically Walter had to play it off. But Tommy knows. He knows deep down inside it is Claudia, and he's planning on approaching her. Now, Claudia's stuff has been jacked because apparently she changed the passwords on Walter Flynn's dialysis account, and he wasn't having it. He's pissed off. He's not trusting the things that she's doing, so he decided to piss her off. Now we're seeing the drugs, this scheme in the prison system. It seems like Kendra is doing exactly what she planned on doing with, Diamond. Now, Rojas is pissed off because he is the one that usually deals the drugs at the prisons, but apparently things has not been going his way. He is having trouble doing that. CBI, they're pushing the drugs, and apparently Rojas, he is being blocked. So he wants his guys to figure this out and to handle it. Now, we get to Walter and Claudia, and he does tell her, like, look, I did break into your safe. I took your stuff. I canceled the credit cards and stuff because you basically changed the dialysis account. He's not having it. He's pissed off that she's messing around with his money. She's feeling like she's worked hard for what she's done, and that's her. So, of course, they're going to have issues. He does tell her that Tommy is getting closer to finding out what happened to Liliana, so she best to be worried about that and not about this. He does tell her if she keeps messing around with him, he will blow her security, and she doesn't want that. Now, we get to Kate Egan. She apologizes to JP, telling him she's sorry for what she did by basically leaving him when he was younger and not taking care of him. And he's like, look, did you do it because I was black? And she says, well, not all the way. You know what I'm saying? It's more complicated than you think. We know later on in the episode, she does explain it better about why she did what she did, which involves her mother. Now, Jenard finally approaches little K. He catches him slipping on some easy stuff, and he's about to take him out, telling him, I told you not to go at Tommy. They go back and forth, and then his grandma comes out telling Jenard, like, look, it would be easy to pull you up on a lineup or whatever if you was to do this, and that if you're going to take him out, you're going to have to take out both of us, right? So she ended up saving him. We see Big Smurf. He sees what Jenard is doing. So now he understands exactly who did this, and he's going to give Tommy this information. Now Tommy meets up with Diamond, lets him know that he believes Claudia was the one that took out Liliana. He can just tell this based off the conversation that he had with Walter Flynn, and he plans on meeting up with her to talk about it. And he also talks about, Rojas and, getting him a new lawyer, basically trying to make a deal in order for him to, of course, stop doing what he's doing because things are on pause as far as moving drugs in the prison. Now we get to Kate Egan. She's at an AA meeting, and now she finally fully explains the story of why she did what she did as far as, JP. And she explains that her mom said it would be difficult to raise a black child, and she did not want that for her. So we know all the pressure on Kate and her being, at a young age and on drugs. She decided just to leave JP. So this is why she ended up doing what she did. But you can tell deep down she is really sorry, and she is trying to change her ways. Now, Vic Flynn, he messes up Walter's, game plan as far as moving drugs on the south side and, the deal they made with Michael. And he makes a call, and he lets his dad know that things are not going the way that you think they're going to go. And we know he called the boys in order to mess up this whole strategy. Now, Tommy meets up with Claudia. He tells her, look, did you take out Liliana? He just wants her to tell the truth, but she does not tell him. She denies it, telling him it could have been anybody else. It could have been Friendly Fire. Who really knows? But Tommy wants to hear it out of her mouth. We already know this is just one of the times Tommy's going to approach her. I believe the next time is going to be even more intense. I was just hoping she would say, yes, I did it. And once that happens, we're going to see what Tommy is going to do. But y'all know this is not going to end well between the two. Now, Rojas meets up with the lawyer that Diamond sent to the prison in order to make a deal. And they pretty much want him to, work with CBI. But Rojas is like, screw all that. Diamond is the reason why he's in that wheelchair in the first place. And he'd be damned if he made a move or at least an agreement with him. But y'all know Rojas, he was definitely trying to get at the lawyer, trying to get up in those cheeks. Now Diamond gives the kid Leon a haircut, got him looking fresh. I told you guys, this kid reminds me of Detective Bryant's son in BMF, the way he was acting. And hell, he can't even fight, so he's definitely like his son because these guys was bullying him. Diamond had to come and save the day and tell, him, you need to defend yourself because it's violent out here. And I believe that he's going to take him to the boxing gym and help him get more prepared for what's going to come his way. Now, we get to Detective Bobby. He approaches little K with no type of leverage at all. I mean, it's all hearsay. It's all talk. And he's trying to get him to flip on CBI, but it's not going to work. And now all he's doing is looking flat out stupid. Now, we get back to Rojas, but now, Kendra tells him you pretty much screwed because basically she planted the drugs on him. So he's going to pretty much lose a year of good time. I mean, he's screwed, and that's the last thing that he wants to do. He doesn't want to be in there forever, right? So he ends up having to make this deal with Diamond and CBI. I got a feeling down the line, maybe Rojas can still try to get payback. I told you these small characters are the ones you got to watch out for. And it would be great to see Jay Moore's character, be able to get taken up to that next level. Now, we get to Jenard. He's out rolling in the Lambo. And then the Serbs, they pull up on him. And he is still struggling to pay what he needs to pay. So, of course, they have to take that ride. And that man was pissed. I told y'all, each and every episode, Jenard is getting punked out by somebody. Now, we get to Tommy. He pops up on one of the guys from the Flynn organization that was with Claudia. And he's asking him, did Claudia take out Liliana? And of course, this dude does not give Tommy what he wants. So Tommy takes him out anyway. Now, Jenard gets picked up by Little K, and Little K notices that Jenard is on that stuff, and he's like, man, why are you getting high on your own supply? Didn't you talk about not doing that? Next thing we know, they get into an argument. They start, getting into a fight. Jenard chokes him out, pissed off, high as a kite on one. And he has to dump the body. Tommy sees that he does that. So now Tommy is good because he knows that Jenard took care of the person that was shooting at him and the person that took out the little girl. Now, Kate Egan, she goes and she gets Tommy the ice cream that he was talking about when he was a kid and how she pretty much spent all the money and he couldn't get the ice cream. But she took care of him in this particular scene. He's happy. And I'm hoping nothing bad happens to Kate down the line, because usually when people start to change their way for the good, something bad happens. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen this season, but don't be surprised if something happens like next season or whatever to Kate Egan. Now, once things get messed up with Walter and Michael because of Vic Flynn, Vic does not waste any time by shooting and taking this guy out, because he wants to mess up Walter's, strategy with Dublin. This is his game plan to mess up things from the inside. And of course, Walter is pissed off because he's not able to get any money out of this. And y'all know this is going to cause more issues for him in Dublin. Now, JP finally tells D-Mac the truth on why D-Mac found him before JP found him. And he told him after him and his mom broke up, she made it, seem like things would not be good with, JP being gay and being in, D-Mac's life. So that's why he stayed away, because he actually started to believe it. Kind of similar to Kate Egan and her mom telling Kate that things won't be right. It will be difficult for you to raise a black child. So we're seeing those parallels between Kate and also JP. Now we see D-Mac, he grabs the strap, and we know he probably about to go put in some work. We know in the next episode that D-Mac is about to get himself into some trouble. Now Diamond is getting unknown calls from this mysterious number, and he plays it off like it's nobody. But y'all know this gonna be something major. I believe in the next episode it does state that him and Tommy got secrets that they're not telling each other. Now they meet up with Miguel Garcia once again, and they want another re-up. And Miguel is like, what the hell is going on? Like, how y'all basically selling all these drugs, and why do y'all want double the shipment? And they tell him they got the prison system on lock. They took care of that thing with the Serbs. Everything is good. And they basically want more product. But Miguel is talking about, nah, he's going to think about it. I believe he's starting to put two and two together, and he's believing that Tommy may have had something to do with his, original shipment being stolen. Now, we get to the body of little K. Of course, Detective Bobby, he finds it, and y'all know this is going to cause issues in the street. Most likely, Jenard is going to have major problems with his organization. Now, Tommy gives Maria a text talking about, do you want to ride me tomorrow? But he ended up telling her, ride with me tomorrow. And now he's going to meet up with her probably in the next episode, and we're going to start to see that connection grow even more. Now, Jenard ends off the episode getting high once again. He goes and buys some product, and I'm looking like, man, come on, Jenard. You got to be smarter than this. But no, he ain't going to be smarter than this. He going to go ahead and get lit before we end off the episode. Look at him. That boy is gone. This is the same guy that's supposed to be running the organization. This is the same guy that Little K said ain't even got a pot to piss in. And based off what we saw in this episode, Little K wasn't lying. This dude be getting punked out in each and every episode, struggling to pay Miguel, struggling to pay, the Serbs. And they're looking too good. And it seems like Jenard knows what time it is. And I guess drugs is his only outlet. It's his only outlet to help him, I guess, cope with all this stress. But this is the calm before the storm. I see things getting worse unless your boy Jenard is able to get over this. But you guys, y'all let me know exactly what do you feel about episode 3. I can't wait to see episode 4. I will catch you guys for the what to expect for episode 4 over the weekend. So I want you guys to stay tuned for that. But I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support, and I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.